everybody. Oh, dearie me. So all change has been afoot here, you see. So whilst I've been changing things about, I haven't realised I've knocked some bits and whatnot around. So now you actually get to see me face cam right in front of me. Oh, let's just give that a little adjustment as well, shall we? Because this is all new. I've literally just set this all up today. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to surprise my loves. I'm going to surprise my lovelies with a little live, and we're going to make some storage. How amazing is that? Right, let's see if we can actually get this camera to sit properly, because I'm on a jaunty angle. It looks so silly. Right, so do you guys want to see a sample of what I'm going to be making? Because I've already made one, and I was really excited by the fact that I've made it. Oh yeah, my desk is upside down. How did that happen? I was wondering why it looked so weird. There we go. That's better. Is that about right? See, this is good that I'm doing this, because it's getting all of these teething problems out right now. I had to look to the side because the screen is to the side of me. And I don't know why. This is all just kind of like on the wonk, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Hello, Pam. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, Alicia. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for being here, my lovelies. It is a little bit of a... Oh, I am still at the top of the screen, aren't I? I'm not very good at trying to sort this stuff out after I've played with it so much. It's just so weird. Can I flip? There we go. How's that? That's better. That's much better. There we are. Fabulous. Hello, Shana. Thank you for being here. Hello, Jane. Oh my gosh, thank you all for being here for this impromptu live. It's impromptu. I didn't plan it at all. Nobody knew, not even me. I literally just thought, you know what? I've been making this storage unit today, and I've had some lovely things arrive. Now, I don't know if you know my friend Lynn. So I've got a few of her dies here that I've bought. So I had these sent all the way from the US of A for me, so that I can make things with them. And I love them so much that I've actually ordered the add-on for the second die here, because I just want to play with them all. But we'll pop those to the side for the moment. We will be making this lovely storage. Now you can see I've actually decorated it with some of my papers from Stamperia. They're Stamperia papers. I may have to arrange some more shortly. So I have actually fully decorated the outside of it, except for the back, because I didn't get that far. So what we'll do first then is I'm just going to see if I've got a big piece. If I've got a piece of... We're going to get a piece of cardstock. We're going to finish this one off, and then we'll start making a totally brand new one. And how I've managed to do this, like... seriously, so this is an A5, so this is, what are we? We are 6 1/4 by 8 3/4, and it fits in there beautifully. Now I've made this, I've designed this to be exactly fitting my shelves for my storage, and you can see there my 6x6 dice fit in there absolutely peasy peasy. So there we go. I'll just pop those off to the side, and yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to decorate the inside. I think I might. Shall we do... we'll do some... yeah, what I'll do is I'll just get some more, because this is so impromptu, guys. I hadn't actually planned anything at all. We need to get some more papers in, some more paper in, for me to be able to print out some more of my lovely papers from Stamperia. So we'll just get those in there, and we'll get that ready. Ooh, silly me. I'll do that in just a moment, and we'll get some just normal copy paper, and I'm just going to finish decorating this up. So we need, so for the back piece here. Oh, PJ, Pam, are you okay, my love? Are you all right? Are you not well? I'm absolutely terrible. Your hands are still at the top of... I've not been... I've just been in my own little... I'm in isolation as my daughter... Oh, Alicia, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. So I'm just going to go to 6 3/4 by 9 for the back panel. And it'll be 6 3/4 by 10.5 for the bottom panel. So we said it was 6 3/4, and I didn't get out the arm like I should have done. This is so great because now I can actually look at the device that I'm keeping the chat on and look at you guys at the same time. It's just so amazing. I'm absolutely in a childlike state of joy over this. At the moment, it's so silly, isn't it? But I get so excited by the simplest of things. So, all right. Oh, you're not sick. Just slow start to my day because oh yeah, of course. Oh yes, I was speaking to you. What was early morning time for me, wasn't it? So because that 6 3/4 was just a smidgy bit over. I'm just going to actually take it down to 6.5. So that should be more than enough to cover that back panel. Now I was going to, well I still couldn't I? I could still ink blend it and still, I just need to trim off just a little fly's eyelash off of that 9 because it was a bit too, just a little bit too big. Just a fly's eyelash, as they say in the business. So that's just the right size. Hello, Michelle Gibb. Welcome on in. It's so lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. We're making some storage today. I've already made one. So we're just going to finish up decorating this one and then we're going to make another. So hope you enjoy it. So what I'm going to do first actually is I'm going to get, where did I put, oh, there it is right there in front of me. My ground espresso ink. And I'm just going to ink that down onto the desk. Where is my water spritzer? My lovely water spritzer. And I'm just going to pick up that ink onto the paper because I don't want it to look too, I don't want it to look new, to be honest, but I want it to look rustic but not too rustic. So we've kind of got that going on there. I'm just going to, actually I really like how the grain's caught on the paper. So this is just normal copy paper I'm using, guys, and I'm just going to make sure that those corner bits are inked out a little bit as well because I want it to look really, really cool. There we go. So we have a distressed piece of paper. That looks like really old, doesn't it? It's super cool. Absolutely super cool. I think it's brills. I'm a little bit old for... I shouldn't be as excited as I am over the silliest of things. It's weird, isn't it? But then I don't know. Does anybody else get excited over silly things or is it just me? Sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I just think, oh, dearie me. What am I like? So I'm just going to use some of my Collal construction glue on this. Now I'm hoping that it's not going to tear. But if it does tear, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because it's still going to have that distressed vintage look that I'm going for with it. So, I mean, like, I got so excited over this. I was like, I've got to share it. I've got to share it with everybody. Everybody has to see, and everybody has to know. It's going to be so much fun. There we go. And then we got that nice vintagey look on there. So I'm going to do that for the sides and the inner base as well. Probably what I'm going to do with the inner base bottom is I'm going to spray some of my sealer on it. So then that way, when I'm taking things in and out, it's not going to ruin the paper that's on the bottom. Looks brilliant, need more storage. Oh, thank you, Emma. I really appreciate you saying that, my lovely. And thank you for being here. I'm really grateful. There we go. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink. And we get another sheet of that paper. So, for the bottom, we need 6 3/4 by 10.5. I don't care about those silly things. Right. So we'll cut this down to 6 3/4, and I'm going to take that little extra like fly's eyelash off of it as well, just because I know I needed to do it with the top, so I'm sure I will need to do it with the bottom. And I will do the same on the 10.5 with a little fly's eyelash taken off it as well. So it's just a little tiny little smidgy bit. Hello Aaron, welcome on in, my dears. It's something actually, it's mine and Aaron's 7-year anniversary today. Isn't that nice? 7 whole years of putting up with him. And him putting up with me. Isn't that lovely? Let's give that a little spritz some more. I can get some more on there. Yes, and he forgot. There we go, let's just blink. Get that all nicely blotted about. He did. Thank you. Yep, it's our anniversary and here I am doing a live instead of... Well, you know, you've got to, haven't you? I've got all you guys to think about too. Can't be selfish and keep me to yourself. There we go. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And that's actually crinkled a little bit, and you know what, I don't mind that. I think it gives it a really good rusticy look. So, because I don't have any clear sparkle, any clear spray, I'm just going to use my spray and sparkle. Let's do that down there so that we don't have to hear the noise. And that will give it a nice sealed coat. And it also makes it a little bit glitzy. We did have a KFC, yes, it was very lovely, in fact. So let's see, we can make that happen, can't we? Amazing! I really like how that looks on the inside as well. It really does come together with the outside, so it'll be a better effect when the sides are done. You guys should be able to see it quite nicely then. So, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go to 10.5 by 9 with a little fly eyelash taken off it. Let's not... Oh. Well, we'll do that after. So 10.5 with a little fly's eyelash taken off. Excellent. Now, all I'm going to do to save myself the hassle of trying to figure out the exact dimensions that I need to cut, because, you know, it's a bit much, isn't it? So, all I'm going to do is line that up on the inside there, as you can see, and with my pencil, I'm just going to do a line across the outside where I need to cut it. So I'm just going to do a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom, just so that I can line it up. Oh yeah, you've got to have a good KFC once in a while. Totally agree with you, Shana. And there we go, and that makes... Oh, I forgot my fly's eyelash off of that as well, so need to make sure I do my fly's eyelash. That should make the perfect panel to stick inside there. And I still need to take a bit more of the fly's eyelash off. I must have... There we go, so if I do that, that should be the correct size panelling. And this is the part that's going to face on the inside. So I'm going to lay down some more of that lovely ink. And we're just going to give it a spray. Give it a good spray, get it out. There we go, that's what we want. We want it to look absolutely like... There we are. Picking up all of that ink. Oh, that one actually turned out nicer, and I did it on the wrong side, so we can just stick it onto the other side of the... I just need to remember to make sure I do the right one for the left side. I'm confused. Right. Let's get some glue on this. And I know it's only really, really thin paper, so it's not going to take a lot to get it to stick down. There we are. Pop that there. Pop that there. And we're just going to pop it on in and line it up. And the great thing about using the Collal glue is that it gives me all the wiggle time I need to be able to move the paper into place. And we can see I didn't cut it entirely because I've cut it for the other side, you see, not for this side. It's a little bit too big, but that's not a problem. It is something we can solve with a pair of scissors. And again, I don't mind so much if this gets a little bit scaggy or rips, because it just adds to that distressed effect on the inside. I really like it. There we go. Let's get that out of there. And I really do like how that's turned out. So we've only got this side left to do now. So I shall just get another piece of my copy paper. And we'll cut that down to 10.5, as we did for the last side. And we'll just pop that in and line that up again. Do the same pencil marks. It doesn't have to be massive because I'm going to line it up using the cutting edge on this thing. Guillotine. Words are something at the moment, aren't they? Right, so we're making it for that side, which means I need to ink this side. So this side needs to be the inky mess. So let's just give that a quick clear up, because I've made a right mess there. And we'll put some more ink down. Aaron says ours is rubbish. 2 after a busy shift, didn't want to cook. No, he didn't, and neither did I want to cook either, but I'm terrible. I never want to cook. I gave them 3 times. One time the biscuit was stale. Oh, yeah, because you guys get biscuits, don't you? Another time it was raw in the middle, and the final time it was burnt. Oh, gosh, while they're out. Do you go to Popeyes now? Maybe Pam. I agree, Shana. I've not had any for a while, so I think I'm overdue. Ooh, it's fish and chips tomorrow. I like Fridays. Ooh, that is a good shout, Michelle. I will certainly say that is definitely a good shout. Most certainly. We do have some fish in the freezer, actually, so I might pull some out tomorrow and do a fish tea. Because I've got some scampi and I love scampi. Absolutely adore scampi. It's yum 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 yum. Right. And this time I actually inked the correct side. Woohoo! It helps when you do things right, doesn't it? Oh dear. Well, it doesn't really matter because it's going to get glued in there anyway. I did get a little bit of glue on the inside of the project, but it's fine. It's within the area that I'm going to be gluing this. Anyway, so it's not a problem. And there we go. Just line that up and stick that down. And again, there's a little tiny bit that's a little bit over, but we don't mind that. That's fine. We'll trim that up once I've smoothed this out. You love scampi too? Oh, amazing. I'm glad I'm not on my own. Scampi is a yum 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 yum. So my American friends, you will call crayfish tails scampi? Is what we call scampi. And there we go. One fully completed die storage with that lovely paper on it. Right, so I'm going to quickly actually print out some more because we need some more to be doing the next one. So yeah, I'm just going to stick to the one that I'm doing. So let's just print that, and we'll do that, and we'll do that. No, not that many. I need to set it to, oh, what is it? Borderless printing. That's what we want. We don't want borders on the print. There we go, and there we go. So, whilst the printer will be chocking us out some paper, I'm going to quickly clean up this lovely inky mess that I've made. Set the one that we've completed to the side, and yeah, clean up. How many screens or devices do you have? Well, I have a webcam that's pointing face down. I have a webcam that is pointing at my face. The computer that runs the streaming is over there. And I watch you guys and all of the chat on my phone right in front of me. So I've got quite a bit going on. I'm just going to quickly clean up this desk because I don't like it, because some of that sparkle stuff has landed on the desk, so it's just going to make it mucky and nasty, and I don't want any of that getting onto the next project. So to make one of these units, now my measurements are as follows. We have a 9-inch depth, 10.5-inch width, and then we have a 4 1/4 there. So you'll have one back panel that you'll make. That will be 9 by 6 3/4. You'll have a base panel that is 10.5 by 6 3/4, and you'll have 2 side panels that are 10.5 by 9. And then that little extra bit there is the little front piece here is 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. So hopefully you should have got that. And to make it, we're going to need 3 sheets of mount board. And probably a lot more copy paper. So I'm just going to... Oh, actually, no, I should have enough there to do this one. At least. Let's just pop those scissors away. The kitchen fairies did not show up last night. How dare they? I used to have 5. I did not used to have 5. Don't tell people porky pies. That looks really good. How do you put the measurements below? I can put the measurements in. I will put the measurements in actually after I'm finished with the live. So I came up with this myself. As you can tell, it's very shoddily drawn on a little piece of paper. So I worked it out to be 9 inches tall, 10 1/2 by 6 3/4. But I will put it all in the description box below as soon as I'm done. As soon as I'm done making. The cleaning fairies were here. Sorry, no, they weren't. I don't know where the cleaning fairies were, but they certainly weren't here. So we're going to start by cutting the side panels, because to me they're the most crazy things to be making. So we're going to start by cutting at 10 1/2. That was painful. By 9. I am not a cleaning fairy. I just clean the bedroom. By 9. So that was 10 1/2 by 9, guys. And we will keep our offcuts because they will come in handy for making other parts. So we're going to go in again, 10 1/2. By 9. So you should have 2 side panels. But before we do all of the other little bits, I'll look a little something like this. So you should have 2 panels, which are 10 1/2 by 9. I'm going to put those other bits to the side. And I don't think those are going to be big enough for what we're going to want them for. No, they're actually 3/4 of an inch too short. So now we're going to cut our back panel. So this is going to be 6 3/4 by 9. Why is that? No, it's not stood up, that's why. So 6 3/4 by 9. And at this point, just with my pencil, I'm going to write back on it, so I know that that's my back panel. And with this part, we're going to go to 10 1/2. By 6 3/4. And that is our base panel. Now I'm going to bring in one of these offcuts, and I'm just going to cut it down to 6 3/4. Just for now, so I will do the extra bit of cutting on that later on. So pop your base panel to the side for now, because you want to be working with your back and your sides. So make sure that they line up. I made this mistake earlier on, and I wasted mount board. and I was very disappointed with myself. So make sure they all line up just like that. And what we're going to do now is on this one, on only on one of them, we're going to connect it to the back piece, because what we need to do is, with the measurements that I'm going to use to make the panel that adheres it together, I need to use that to measure out the piece that I'm going to cut away. So hopefully you guys understand that. So I'm just going to get in a piece of my copy paper again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece that is 9 inches by 3 inches. And I'm going to need 2 of those for the one side. So 9 inches by 3 inches. Now you should be able to get, if that doesn't happen, 2 panels out of it. And then once we've done that, I don't know what's going on with my blade on that at the moment. I'm just going to put those bits to the side that we don't need. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and on the short side of these pieces that I've just cut at 9 by 3, on the 3 inch side, I'm just going to score at 1.5. So score at 1.5. And there we go. So those 2 are ready. So I'm going to connect it to, actually I'm going to connect it to that side. So I'm going to connect it to the right side first. I'm just going to bring those 2 together and line them up as best as possible. And I'm just going to burnish my first. Now you can use a burnishing tool to do this. I've been silly and not used a burnishing tool. So now I've made an absolute pig's ear of it, which teaches you that you should use a burnishing tool. Do as I say, not as I do type of job. And again, I'm going to come in with my construction glue. And I'm just going to line that right up with the edge there. There we are. I'm going to put some more of the glue on the outside here. Just making sure that that is lined up nicely. I'm going to burnish that down. And the score line that we put in the paper will help it fold once we get there. So now all I'm going to do is just flip that over, and with my second piece, once I have folded and burnished it, see, that one actually went and did itself properly. I'm just going to literally just put some glue on it. I'm going to line it up. It doesn't matter which side that you line it up with or glue it on first. It's still going to have the same effect when we put it together. So basically all we're doing is making a hinge, and when we put it all together, the structural integrity will come from all of the overlapping of the hinges and all of the mats and layers and such that we're going to put on it. So here we go. And so now we have something that looks like that. That's actually turned out quite well. I'm very happy with that. We're going so much better than what I did with the first one. So I'm just going to bring back in my, this one, guillotine. And on a jaunty angle, I am going to line up the cut with the very top of this join here. So that will be 1.5 inches. And then just by eye, I'm going to do it to what I feel is a good level. And we're just going to trim that piece away. And to save the struggle with the next one, all I'm going to do is I'm going to be an absolute cheat. I'm going to bring it in, pop it underneath this one, just to make sure that they both line up exactly the same. And I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm just going to trace that line. So hopefully you guys can see now we have that line just going across there. It means it's going to line up exactly with this one that I've just cut. And that's because I'm so lazy. I'm terrible. I am so lazy. Absolutely. So then all I have to do is line this up and chop away that little excess bit that we don't need anymore. Now I may not make the exact same one that I've already made, but it's going to equal up and make what I need it to be making for this one. So there we go. And then once we've done that, it should look a little something like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make 2 more paper hinges to go on this side, and then we're going to pop the base part in, which is the fun part. So again, it does take quite a fair bit of copy paper, guys. I don't know if am I missing out on the chat here, or oh no, I've not missed out on anything on the chat. That's fine, I think. Or have I? I don't know. Am I missing the chat? There we go, that's better. Right. So again, I'm just going to chop this piece of copy paper to 9 inches. And then I'm going to cut 2 3-inch strips on the lengthways. So 3 inches. And pop that to the side. And 3 inches, pop that to the side. Once I've chopped it. And now the chat's just completely disappeared again. Oh, you're not very chatty. Oh my gosh. Golly gosh. It's because I'm doing something serious, isn't it? I shouldn't make serious things. I really should not make serious things. It's very silly of me. Right. So, scoreboard's back out. And again, I'm just going to give these a good score on the 1.5 inch line on the short side. So 1.5 inches on the short side. Oh, it's nearly bedtime for you, Jane. Oh, bless you. I'm busy making... Oh, wow, you've got to make your beans on toast. Oh, gosh, that actually sounds pretty good. But then I can't really say anything. I just had a KFC, so I've got to behave. I should really behave myself. We don't want to distract you from all that measuring and mathing. I know, it's like I'm Carol Vorderman. For you American people, Google her. She's amazing. We have a show here called Countdown, and she used to be one of the hostesses on it. Because they had a bloke that used to sit behind the desk, and she used to do all of the letters and the maths, and she could they had this like machine where she put so many numbers up on the board, and she pressed the button, and then it told than what they had to come up with. They had to come out with 750 or something from all of these different numbers. And she used to stand there and work it out in her head, which is just absolutely mad. I couldn't do anything like that. So all of this mathematicianing is it is a bit scary, isn't it? I'm not very good at mathematicianings, but somehow I managed to figure this out. Like, seriously, normally I get help from one of my friends, or so my friend. Normally I get help from my friend Lise, or I'll get help from Michelle McCarthy, because she's really good at building construction projects. So I normally go to her and be like, "Oh, please help me. I don't know." So we're just putting that there. And I just need to respond to my friend to tell her that I'm live. Because she was just ringing me. There we go. Now she knows I'm live. So she'll pop in. Oh yeah, Michelle McCarthy is, oh my god, she is one of the best friends I have. She is an absolute hero. I love it a bit. Right, so I'm just going to pop some glue on this hinge as well, and then we'll stand it up. And the best type of glue to use for this, guys, is the Collal. So it's kind of so if you can't get Collal, you'll want, oh, what's the name of it? Solvent glue. She's so clever no matter what she makes. Yeah, she is so clever with all of her makes. And there we are. And we have that. And if we take our base, we just slide that on in there just for now. And there we are. It fits perfectly. And don't worry, we're going to attach all of this together. Not an issue. It's going to be great. That's so much fun. I'm really enjoying making this. Watched her live then and saw yours pop up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she was live on Facebook. Bless her heart. She's so... Again, she's one of the best friends anyone could ever ask for. She is such an amazing human being. Like, beyond belief, she is. Yeah. Super duper. Absolutely amazing. Bless her little heart. Right. She's a very good friend to have as well. So I'm just going to trim this piece of paper down to 10.5 because that's what we need for the bottom struts for the bottom to attach to the side of the sides. That sounded so silly. And again, I'm just going to trim that up into 3-inch strips. Oh. And we are going to need 4 of those, 2 for each side. But at the moment, I'm just going to do the 2 that are going to attach it on the inside, and then I'll do the 2 that are going to attach it on the outside, because otherwise it will turn into a wibbly wobbly mess. And in some cases you do want wibbly wobbly, but not in this case. So there we go. I'm just going to score that at the 1.5-inch line again, making sure I get a good burnish. Scoring at 1.5 again. There we are, just pop that out of the way. And we're just going to fold. I'm going to get my burnisher out because this is getting out of hand. I don't know why this isn't lining up as it should, but I'm just going to do that, and hopefully if I do that, And that should turn out nicely. There we are, just lining those up there and burnishing across. And ta-da! That camera's not pointing at me properly, is it? We need to bring it down a little bit more. There we go. Hopefully that should be okay. Now what we're going to do... What have I done with my base? That's my base there. Let's just put that off to the side. See, me and maths don't normally get on very well, but we're doing all right with this. So, I used to use a storage solution for my stamps and dies, which I have grown out of. I've got so many stamps and dies, I'm probably not going to use them all in my lifetime. And I've got so many collections that I've bought, and you know, I bought them because oh yeah, I'll do something with that, and then I kind of never do. And then I always tend to then go and buy the next best thing, because I'm terrible and I really need to stop. I'm thinking of starting a group. So I'm just going to put the glue on these tabs, or as I like to call them, hinges. I don't know why I call them hinges, because they're not really hinges. There we are. And I'm just going to make sure that that is pressed right up against the back there, and that side is nice and flush, because we don't want it coming apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on its side like that, and I'm going to burnish that down in there. And I'm just going to turn it onto the other side and do the exact same thing over here. There we are. I wish there was a crafty library where we could just borrow stuff and use from a bit. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if you actually did that? You know, like you have these collections and you just charge people to borrow them for like a week. And then, they bring them back. But then that's the problem, is that people probably wouldn't bring them back, and they would literally just, like, keep them. I don't think that's something that really should be done then. Thinking about it. Well, that idea came and went really, really quickly. Right. I need another piece of copy paper, and I think I've just ran out of the copy paper that I had here. I could just have some more copy paper from the printer. And there we go. So now we're going to need a hingey piece for the back here. Credit card on file for missing items. Oh yeah, that's a great idea then. I'm the same with buying things, have far too many dies and stamps I haven't used. My husband moans every time there's a delivery. We're on first name. Yep. Michelle, we are on first name terms. Well, we might as well be on first name terms with the delivery people. And actually, to be fair, he does moan every... No, actually, he hasn't moaned. He hasn't moaned. Although he thinks that stuff I've had for ages is new. And then thinks that the stuff I've had that's new I've had for ages. So, make of that as you will. So I'm just going to trim this down to 6 3/4. And then again, I'm going to do a 3-inch and another 3-inch. Oh, don't worry, this was a completely impromptu live, Love to Craft. Thank you so much for being here. And actually, it's lovely to have you here, so thank you for being here. This was completely impromptu. I didn't plan it at all whatsoever in any way, shape or form. I just literally decided that I was too excited not to share making these storage units with everybody. So I really do appreciate you being here. So again, I'm just going to score this on the short side at 1.5 and get a nice good score on that. And again, a nice good score at the 1.5. Aaron could probably sneak into the craft area and find something on the bottom of the pile and give it to Gaz as a present. Yeah, he probably could, to be fair. Genuinely, he could. And the thing is, it's that, yeah, he doesn't. What he does want to do is come in here and take my pens. That's the only thing he wants to do. Because he's an artist, so I do all the card making, he does all the drawing. He's actually a very good artist. Not that he'll tell you that, or that he'll believe it when he's told, but he is a very, very good artist. So he does all the drawings and I do all the cards. That's our thing. Right, so there we go. Now I'm just going to put some glue on this, if I hadn't shut the lid, because apparently that's something I done, or did. Did? Oh, I don't know. One of the two. We'll figure it out at some point. There we go. And I'm just going to actually use the pressure of this back piece here to help get that to slide into place and set. So I'm just going to push that down. And there we go. Actually, I don't think. Well, I don't have a craft pile on the floor, and I don't have anything on the floor. But I have literally just gotten rid of so much stuff. It's unreal how much stuff I've destashed. But because of the storage that I'm using currently, it doesn't look as though I've gotten rid of anything because the boxes are what the boxes are. So there's not a lot I can do about that. But this is why I'm making these, because it will take away all of those boxes which have been discontinued by the company that I was buying them from. So I am slightly annoyed at that, and they're out of stock, so there's no more boxes for me to have. There never will be any more boxes for me to have, which makes me a very sad boy. Right. And there we go. So that's all nicely put together there. And now we're going to work on the outside. I need the actual measurements for this storage. Thanks. Well, I can tell you. So, your bottom panel, which is your base panel, is going to be 10.5 inches by 6 3/4. It is very rude of that company. And your back panel will be 9 inches by 6 3/4 inches. And for the side panels, you will need 9 inches by 10.5. I have had a few people ask for those, so I have already said I will be putting them in the description box of the video after the live is done. Because it was that impromptu, I literally just set the live up and went live. I didn't think of doing anything else. So I'm just going to cut this copy paper down again to 10.5 by 3-inch strips, and we're going to need two of those. There we go, 2 of those. my hubby said that one measurement should have been 9 3/4 for the Harry Potter fans. That is very true. It could have been, actually. I should have done it like that. But unfortunately, I've made these. I've designed these specifically for my shelf. So you can amend the measurements to anything that you need them to be. And if you need help with that, call Carol Vorderman. She'll be able to help you sort it out. So again, I'm just scoring these on the short side at the 1.5 inch mark. There we go. Pop that there. I'm just going to have a quick swig of my drink. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I made some A4 magazine type files for my journaling supplies rather than having them in piles. Exactly, this is why I'm making these, so that I don't have all my die cuts plastered across the floor when I get angry with them. Well, I don't really get angry with them, but the problem that I'm having is I can't... I'll show you one of the boxes actually. I'll just grab one of the boxes and show you. So this is how I'm storing all of my stabs and dies at the moment, in collections in these boxes, which they are nice enough. Unfortunately the company's discontinued them, but I can't really tell or see what is in what box. So I'm thinking that these new trays that I'm making will take away a lot of that problem, and I'll be able just to look and see. So what I'm going to be doing is making some little dividers to go in it as well, with a little tab at the top so I can write what name of what collection it is and what company it's from and all that kind of thing. So it will be... I won't need the spreadsheet that I've had on my computer. That took me ages. Yeah, they are the fab files. They've from what I've been told, they have been discontinued. So it's really sad. And exactly, Jane, if we can't see it, we don't use it. And it helps if you see it in one of these lovely, beautiful little boxes that I'm making. I am so happy with them. Love to craft. I can't comment on that because I am a Crafters Companion affiliate. I do have affiliate links for them. So I'm sure you can think how I feel about the situation. Yeah, I've got to behave myself. I'm sorry. You should be. They are great. Oh, thank you. I make a bunch of coloured card bases and put them in a bin on my desk just so I could see them and use them. It's good when you do things like that, isn't it? Because you are literally more inclined to use and do. I have a few of the smaller of those boxes. Yeah, I've got quite a few of the smaller ones as well because I moved on to buying those after the 8x8s sold out because they had this massive sale on them whilst I wasn't looking. I think I was working on a set of nights actually. So yeah, I was a bit upset when they sold out of them anyway. But I will have a load of 8x8 boxes up for grabs, which I will flat pack and send if anybody wants them or what have you. If you do want some, just let me know. But you'll have to wait until I've finished making all the containers that I need to make for these, for my die. Well, as soon as I've finished making my Die's new homes, you're welcome to ask for whatever you like. And there we go. See why I didn't actually trim that off or do anything with that to the height was because I didn't know what height it was going to be. So I'm just going to measure that now, and if it's the same as the other one, I will be knocked over. I'll be bowled over, to be honest. Right, so that is 4.5, which is about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the other one. But you know what? I don't mind. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So just before we do anything with that, we've still got this one for the back here. Now I like to make sure that everything looks pretty. So that's going to cover that over and it's going to look nice. So I'm just going to put the glue all over this one, actually, to be honest. I'm not going to bother doing it in 2 separate sections. And I'm just going to smother it in glue. There we are, and I'm just going to use, again, I'm going to just use the desk to my advantage to get a nice grip and stick. There we go. Nice grip and stick. All good. Looks fabulous. And there we are. It should be at this point that I do that. But that needs to be longer, so I will need to cut. So I'm going to do 2 10.5 inch strips. I never thought to use copy paper for hinges. I was using card. This is, yeah, it is really cost effective, and it's actually really sturdy. I didn't think it was going to be, but once you put your mats and layers on top of it, it all just kind of comes together, if you get what I mean. So I'm just going to pop that to the side for now, and we're going to cut 2 10.5 inch strips. So I'm just going to cut that down to 10.5. And I'm going to do that by 3 again. 3. And we'll do the scoring at 1.5, but these are gonna be a little bit different. So I'm just gonna score at the 1.5 mark. Now, if you're using white mount board, you don't need to follow this step because the white will be fine. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm using the grey mount board and I don't want any of the grey showing. I don't want that in my life. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, aren't I? Let's fold and burnish. I'm not used the fold and burnisher. Hello, Clarice. Welcome on in. You're watching from work. Oh, shh. We won't tell anyone. Shh. Everyone, don't tell on Clarice. Right, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bend this, actually. So just bend that slightly. So what I'm going to do is at that little part there where it's where I've got the marking, and then I'm just going to move that up and cut in the same place. Now I'm leaving a little bit, so I'm only leaving a little bit there so you guys can see. And I'm just going to line that up and bend that down, and then you see there we've got the perfect cover. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put the glue on those little cut tabs. and all the way down the middle there. And then that will cover those absolutely perfectly. Mum's the word. Type quietly so her co-workers don't hear us. Yes. Shh. And we're going to do exactly the same with this one. So I'm just going to try and get it to put a little crease just so that I can tell where to snip. And we're not going all the way up, we're just going to go so far so we can make it bend and fit. There we are. Hopefully you guys can still see me, because I feel like I'm being pushed a bit back by the project. Right, there we go. So I'm just going to set that up there, and then pull that and stick it down. Pull that and stick it down. There we are. So it should look a little something like that. Now we do need another one to go across the top here. So that's just a 6 3/4 strip by 3. So I believe that's already cut to 6 3/4. And I'm going to bring in my smaller one now. So for the 3. And I'm just going to put a little score in at the 1.5. And I'm going to move it across to where I can line it up a bit better. And find a school tool that will actually fit in there. Oh, there we go, that will do. There we are. Maybe I should have used the school tool that was right behind it. But no, not me. Not me at all. I can't do the simple things. I've just subscribed to It's Fun Here. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the family, because we're all a bunch of nutters. You should see me when sometimes I do lives after I've had a couple of drinks as well. That's fun. If you think I talk a lot of rubbish now, wait till you see me when I'm drunk. Would these be strong enough for 12 by 12 paper pads if you extended the sides? I can't see why not. But what I would do if you're going to do that is leave the front end open so you can just pull the pads in and out so you're not moving the unit the whole time. Or maybe put a smaller lip on it so you can lift the papers out. But I don't see why that wouldn't work. I think that's a brilliant idea, in fact. Right, there we go. This is coming together really well and really quickly as well, actually. I was expecting this to take longer. Oh no, that's not the piece, is it? Oh, what have I done with that? No! Where did I put it? That's too tall. Oh yeah, because I haven't cut it yet, have I? And this is what happens. This is what happens every single time. 4.5. I need to cut that at 4.5. So that should be the 6 3/4 side. And then I need to cut it at 4.5. My gosh, I can't make this up, like seriously. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way. I know. Oh, thank you, Clarice. I tried to make it as fun as possible. I also tried to make it as informative as possible as well, so that everybody's learning something, or at least I tried anyway. So there we go, that's that one. Oops, oh yes, Clarice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut some... Oh gosh, I've got messages coming out of the brassoiseau. I need to stop that. Go away. Right. Let's make some attachments, shall we? So we're going to do the sides first. So what we need to do is do 4.5 inch, 4.5 by 3. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to use the bigger one actually. 4.5. Gosh, I'm slowly losing what's left of my sanity. So 4.5. That's the width of the strips we need. Should I be cutting them that way at 4.5? No, I should be cutting it that way at 4.5 and then cutting across. Yes. I'm losing. I really am losing the plot. 4.5, and then we want 3-inch strips. So we're going to need 4 3-inch strips. 1, 2, 3, and hopefully that one will be number 4. If not, I'm going to have to cut another piece of paper. 3, and... oh, it's 1/4 inch too short. Gosh darn it. So 4.5 by 3. There we go, and we've got the 4 panels that we need, because we're going to put 2 on the inside and 2 on the outside. Oh right, okay, Clarice, I don't mind showing you. So I've already got one that we can... Wow. I've already got one that I've completed. So I'm making new storage bins for my stamps and dies. And I've been using this lovely paper. I absolutely adore this paper. It's so beautiful. So all we've done at the moment is we've decorated the inside of this one, the front and the 2 sides and the inside. I haven't done anything on the back yet, but I'll probably just do another piece of that and stick it to the back. Because I can't, what's it? What's the word? I can't remember. There's a word. I forgot the word. There's a word. There's a word. And I forgot it. But I don't remember the word. Do a live, he thought. It'll be fun, he thought. Wait till you guys see me tomorrow. I'm doing an advent calendar. I'm going to be using Michelle McCarthy's Christmas papers. So that'll be awesome. And hopefully I won't ruin it. I do have one that I've almost 3/4 made. But we'll see how it pans out. There we are, just move that out of the way. And I'm just going to tidy up this little mess pit that I seem to have made next to my desk, because I'm naughty. There we go, just going to level that one out because I did a boo-boo on it. And just, there we go. How often do you normally go live? Well, see, that is very dependent because I work full time. I do sometimes struggle to find the time to go live. And then there's, of course, if I'm working nights. If I'm working nights, there's an entire week where I don't do anything, any lives, because obviously I'm working throughout the night. So when I get home, I don't normally want to do a live, I just want to go to bed. But for the next 4 weeks, I'm on days, and I try to fit in lives where I can on those days. So if you hop onto my Facebook group, which is, you can find me at Handcrafted by Gaz, I normally post everything there as to what's happening and when. But tonight's live I didn't post because it was just a really impromptu. I just felt like doing a live. So I did. There we go, I'm just lining that up. Lala! Hello, my darling! I have an echo. Ah. Now I shouldn't have an echo. I am so sorry, and thank you for telling me I had an echo. I didn't even realise. How terrible is that? Let's just move that camera down a little bit. It's a little bit too high. It's so lovely to have Lala here. I actually did a live with Lala the other day on her channel, and we taught everybody about foiling. So Lala did hot... Oh gosh, that sounds terrible weather out there. Taught everybody about hot foiling, and I taught everybody about toner foiling, which was really fun. We had a great time. You should, if you aren't a part of Lala's community, pop on over, have a watch of one of her videos. In fact, watch the video with me in it because it's cool. And yeah, you should subscribe to her if you like what you see. But I know you're going to like what you see, so... There we are. I'm just going to line that up and stick that in, and I'm just going to do the same on this side. And then what I'll do is I will press it up against the top of the desk, just like I did with the back piece. It's not a splatter box, Lala. It's actually going to be another one of these that I've already made. And it's going to be the brand new storage. So you see here, I've got some dies of somebody you might know. I mean, you might not know a Lala. I don't think you do, but you might. I've got these lovely dies here just to show you that they fit in there absolutely perfectly. And this is what's going to be yeah, this is what's going to be all of my new storage for my stamps and dies. So there we go. I did do 4, didn't I? What have I done with the other 2? Oh, I put them up there. You cannot make it up. Cannot. But before we put those on, what we need to do is do another 3 by 6 and 3/4. So we need to put just across the bottom there. I do actually need to get some more moderators because at the moment the only moderator I have is Aaron. 6 3/4. So if anyone's volunteering, please do let me know. 6 3/4 by 3. Let's pop that out. Pop. I'm sure we can get that to work properly. And then 1.5. because I'm only doing this way because of how I like it to look. Even though I can't see it after it's done, I like it to be like a set way. Oh, Sophie, hello, my lovely. Yes, I spoke to her today actually. She's all right. I know she's been suffering a lot at the moment with migraines, and she's not been having an easy time of it, bless her. So I'm just going to snip that. And I'm just going to level that out because that one seems to have gone a little bit over. It's not a problem. We can neaten it up. There we are. And I'm just going to stick that down on there. There we go. And I need to do another one of these for the inside as well. Oh, bless. Yeah, she's fine. She didn't speak to me for quite some time as well, actually, to be honest. So, yeah, I was a bit worried about her when she wasn't speaking to me. So that's 2 3/4. I'm just kind of trying to rampage through some of these offcuts to see if we can save cutting up some fresh paper. But I think we're going to have to. So I need one more 6 3/4 by 3. So 6 3/4, 6 3/4, and that's it. By 3. Yep, that's the right way, Gareth. You're doing it right. Hi, Flo. How are you doing, my lovely? I hope you are well. It's so lovely to see you. It's just a little bit of an impromptu live this evening. I wasn't actually intending on going live. There we go. I wasn't expecting as many people to be here that are, because it was completely impromptu and I wasn't actually planning it. Happy to see some Gaz. It's been a while. It has been. It's been like a hot minute, hasn't it? It's been a total hot minute. So I'm just putting my construction glue. And the great thing about this is once it sets like concrete. So I know no matter what I'm using. We are working on some storage boxes for my stamps and dies. I'll just give me 1 second and I'll just grab down the one that I've already finished. And you can have a look. There we go. And then we'll put those outside ones on there. Just as soon as we've... There we go. So, I've designed these to fit my shelf perfectly. So I've done just like a messy bit in. I'll do another piece to go in there in a minute. Well, we'll do it later. Tomorrow's the Advent calendar stream. That sounds neat. It is. So I use some of my lovely Stamperia papers on here because I absolutely love them. So at the moment I've only decorated the front and the sides on this one and the inner because I wanted to have something to obviously show you guys. And I think that's actually come out really, really great. I love it so much. So let's put that to the side there and we'll carry on with this one. We do need another, do we? Yeah, we do, but we'll do that after we've done the sides. The sides are going on next, guys. The sides. I'm quite pernickety about how I like this to look, even though, like I said earlier, It's not going to get seen because it's going to be completely covered in other papers, but I'm just like, it has to look like this. It has to. It can't look any other way. I want it to look this pretty. Oh no, I should have put that on first. No! I've ruined it. See, that should have gone on. That should have gone on first, and that should have gone over the top of it, so that line would be hidden. I can't do anything about it now. I can't rip it apart. It's fine because it's not going to be seen anyway because it's going to be matte and layered. But now I know it's there. So I've just used regular copy paper, Gloria, to do all of the hinge work. And then when we matte and layer it, it will obviously help increase the structural integrity. The secret to this is my Collal all-purpose glue. This is a solvent-based glue, and as soon as it dries, it's rock solid. Like, you know, I can... You see how I'm... That's not... It's literally... I could put as much pressure as I want on it and it's not doing anything. It's just literally the same, like... So... It is absolutely brilliant stuff. It's the Collal. Right. Now to continue on. So I'm going to have to get down some of my 12x12 card stock in a moment. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to do it the same as how I did the other one. So we decorate tell you what, we'll decorate the inside first, then we'll decorate the outside, because that makes sense. So I'm just going to do what I did again at the beginning of the live. So I'm going to start with the base plate, the buttery biscuit base. Sorry, I get excited by the simplest of things. So we need that. Is that going to fit? No, it's not. Will that fit on the back though? Yes, it will. So all we need to do is trim this little bit down to 6 3/4. So for the back panel, oh, let's just take a little fly's eyelash off because it... And we need that to be by 9. So 6 3/4 by 9. Why was that fitting so well? I'll take another fly's eyelash off actually. So off of the side. So that's going to be just under 6 3/4, and I'm being silly here because I need it to be a smaller layer. So it's going to be 6 3/4 by 8 3/4. I know Gloria. I was watching her live just before I went live. So I'm just going to put down my ink. Move those scissors out of the way. Get my spritzer. And we're going to make that into a big mucky mess. And I'm just going to put that on top and let it pick it up. Oh, smack myself upside the head. This is actually brilliant. Never would have thought of making my own storage boxes. I love the acrylic ones, but they can be pricey, thank you. Oh, you're more than welcome, lovely. And I completely understand where you're coming from with the fact that the acrylic ones are lovely, but they are really, really pricey. They can be really, really pricey, and you know, I think I might have to get my heat tool on this to dry it, because I've gone a little bit further with this one than what I did with the last one. it's gotten very, very wet. So I think I am gonna have to use my heat tool just to dry this before I... Yep, Emma brings up a very... It is sopping wet, Glow. I went a little bit overboard. To be honest, it's the copy paper that's the most that you're going to use. Right, I'm happy with that to be as dry as it is, ish. Put a little bit more of that down and just gentle spritz on that, just so that I can cover up some of the other areas. And I may have just gotten the rest of it sopping wet as well, but it's fine. This is the kind of look that we're going for, so it's absolutely fine. It's fine. I don't know who I'm trying to convince. Am I convincing you guys, or am I trying to convince me? It also helps if I open the lid of the glue bottle, doesn't it? Because that is how the glue comes out of the bottle. There we go. I'm just going to pop that up that way. And the great thing about this glue is, guys, that it remains wet for a while, so you can... Oh, sugar plums, I done did that. But it's okay, because it just adds to the rustic effect. And it doesn't matter, because I'm going to do this anyway. So I'll just put a little bit of that down, pick it up with my blender, because this is what I'm going to do all around the outer edge, so it's not a problem for me to do it on the inner edge as well. I'm just going to do a little bit of ink blending. So actually what I should probably do is just go around that entire edge anyway on the inside, because I'm going to do it inside and out. So and it needs to come over this edge. Because that's how I would like it to look. Wish they sold Collal here in the States. There are other solvent-based glues, but you'll rave about the Collal. Yeah, we rave about the Collal because it's the only one we've got. To be dreadfully honest with you, Glow, it is the only one we've got. So that's why we tend to rave about it. But you know, any solvent-based glue will work as long as, because it kind of, especially the Collal where it tends to set like concrete, it works pretty well. Wow, this is actually really late for me to be live, isn't it? And I still haven't put the piece over the top there, which I need to do before I finish doing that ink blending, but we'll get the inside done first. Oh, it's a bit sad that you can kind of see, but I'm sure it'll be fine once it's dry. Yep, I absolutely adore the Collal glue as well. I can't say I don't, because it is fabulous. But there are other glues that are available. Right, so we're going to do the base next, and we're going to need a 6 3/4 by 10 1/4. So 6.5 for the inside by 10 1/4. brain engage. So let's get that out. So 6.5, 6.5 by 10.25. And this time I'm not going to put as much water down as what I did the last time. So let's get a fair bit of that ink down. There we go, and then hopefully that should work quite nicely. Hopefully this shouldn't get so wet this time, but we will hopefully get a really good look from it. So trying not to place anything down for too long. And that hasn't turned out too bad, actually. I like that. But I'm kind of thinking I might just give it a couple of... and then blot it. And then put that back down. Give that a spritzy bits and just whoosh. Yeah, it's really, I think it goes quite well with the I'm glad that's on the bottom because I won't see that. I'm not fond of that piece. It's not come out as well as I'd liked. Yeah, I'm just really sad that it's not available for you guys that side of the pond, because it is really good glue. But then I suppose there's like international rules about solvents, I guess. I don't know how it all works. That's the... oh no, I'm not going to get that to go in there like that, am I? Right, so let's just... but the great thing about it is that obviously it doesn't automatically just stick as soon as you put it anywhere near anything. It gives you that time to be able to move and place and there we are. So that is the bottom and the back done, and we're going to go ahead and do the sides, and I'm not going to touch that ink pad with my bare hand because that would be silly. I'm just going to clean up the mess that I've made. I'm just going to grab another couple of sheets of copy paper because we need 2 more. And all I'm going to do is chop them down to 10.5. I'm going to place them on the inside and I'm going to mark up where I need to cut them. So actually I'm going to go to 10.25. So I've taken that 1/4 inch off already. I'm going to pop that in there for now. I'm going to hold it up against there with my pen and with my pencil. I don't need to put in a massive line. I just need to know where I'm lining it up on my guillotine to cut it. So I'm just going to level cut that first. And then I'm going to kind of guesstimate about 1/4 of an inch to give it that 1/4 of an inch matten layer like I did on the inside. With the other sides even. What is wrong with me today? So I'm going to be doing this side first, which means I'm going to ink that side of the paper. I'm going to make sure I actually ink the correct side of the paper, because the first one that I didn't ink the correct side of the paper and it all went a little bit wobbly. So I'm just going to put down a whole bunch of ink. So I'm going to go that side. I'm just double checking where I'm putting my paper, because I don't want to do it wrong. I want it to look really, really nice. There we go. I'm just going to do a little bit more. Just because I don't want that to be entirely white. Do a little bit. Now I could be doing different colours on this as well, so I could be layering it up with quite a lot of different colours. I'm not doing that because it's just a simple inside for my storage box. I'm not going to be looking at it all the time, so I'm quite happy for however it turns out. So actually I think that one's turned out really, really well. I like that. I did come up with these boxes myself. I came up with the measurements and everything all by my own. I did say earlier on, normally I go to my friend Lise for help, or to my my friend Michelle McCarthy for help, but in this instance I didn't need to get help from anybody. I came up with it all on my own because I'm a good boy. I'm super smart. This is the part where I now start bloating myself and being a bit big-headed because I came up with it all myself. Right, I'm just going to lie that down so that I can actually I don't mind some creases in it because it kind of adds to the texture, but I forgot to mention that I scrapped my old stamping platform and bought the Hunky Dory stamping press. I wish I'd done it sooner. Oh, well, that's brilliant. I've never used the Hunky Dory one myself. I go between. Do you want to see what I made earlier on? Isn't it cute? It's a little shaker card. I got bored, so I made a little shaker card. I use the stamp wheel, and for anything that my stamp wheel can't do, I use my Tim Holtz stamping platform. They are two fantastic products. This costs a lot of money, but it's worth it. Every penny. Right, let's get back on with the last piece of paper we need to be doing. So again, I'm just going to chop this one down to 10 1/4. And I'm going to pop it up against the inside of the box. And using my pencil, I'm just going to mark where I need to cut that triangular bit off. I was going to get the stamping wheel, but on a budget, maybe next time. Oh, that's completely understandable. I mean, I didn't get my stamping wheel until a couple of months ago, and I've wanted one since I saw it first come out, and I think it's been out for, what, about a year and a half? So, you see, Drunk Gaz is very naughty, and Drunk Gaz loves me a lot. Drunk Gaz absolutely adores me. So when Drunk Gaz decides it's a good idea to sit down and start looking at start looking at things to buy, he thinks that it's a good idea to be buying me all of these lovely, nice, crafty things, and I end up with it turning up at the door, and I'm like, what? I forgot to take actually the extra 1/4 inch off of. It's not exactly 1/4 inch; it's just a guesstimation of 1/4 inch off of that. So for that to be showing up on that side, I need to be inking this side. So that side needs to be inked. Right. Oh, Drunk Gaz is all sorts of terrible things. He's a naughty bugger. Pardon my language. But Drunk Gaz is very good at shopping and thinking about sober Gaz. Right, there we go. Before that decides to stick and get too wet, I'll quickly clean that up, and I'm just going to dab that a little bit to take a little bit of the moisture off. Yes, Drunk Gaz is a very naughty person. Very naughty. And it was actually Drunk Gaz that bought the stamp wheel. So I cannot be held accountable. You need to talk about you need to talk to Drunk Gaz about that. Of course I can, Clarice, not a problem. I will just I'm just going to finish sticking this layer in, and then I will certainly do that for you. That is not a problem. There we are. And there's just a little bit of excess there. I recently told Gaz that I thought Drunk Gaz had taken over my body because there was a bit of a spending spree. Yeah, well, you can't really... I mean, is there a Drunk Pam? I mean, is there a Drunk Pam? Does Drunk Pam like to order things? I'm terrible. Right, so just for the lovely Clarice, this is the stamping wheel. So, how was that stuck to that? Oh, I wonder how that happened. So this is the lovely stamping wheel. In here you've got a sticky mat, which is basically a photopolymer stamp. These little this side's got little grippy bits. What I've done with mine is I cut down the sheet so I still had a grid. I took 1/4 inch off the outside so it will still sit and it will still stick into my platform for me to be able to use. And I've still got a little bit of a grid on there so that I can position things properly. Have I got a stamp? Oh, I don't know. Have I got a stamp to hand? I don't think I do. Do I have a stamp? No, I don't, because I put all the stamps away. Hold the line, caller. Just going to grab a stamp. So I'll just bring down that one, and then let's just clear away a little bit of this mess because I've got a lot of mess going on here. And I don't think I need all of it, so let's just clear away a little bit of something like that. And I'm pretty sure I have something I can show you if I haven't lost it in this pile of stuff. So, oh grief. How do I do this to myself? I just make such a mucky mess. Such a mucky mess. There it is. So I'll just get that to hand. So the stamping wheel you can use to stamp absolutely anything, just normally, or you can stamp. So you can get stamps that will layer up, and you can put them in different segments and put them over, and it all stamps and layers. Unfortunately, I don't have a layering stamp to hand or close enough for me to be getting to it quickly enough to demonstrate for you guys. So it's just going to be a little bit of a normal stamp, I'm afraid. So I'm just going to line this up with the bottom of the grid there. And I'm going to place my teddy bear stamp on here. Now, I'm going to use this really cool ink that's just come out from Crafter's Companion. Now, it's called Shadow Mark, and it is brilliant. So, what you do is ink up your project with your Shadow Mark ink. And I will do a live on this properly. So there you go. You can see that this lovely little bear is stamped out there in a light blue colour, right? So what this ink does, it allows you to go in and colour and do whatever you need to do. And when you take a heat tool to it, so you can see there, that definitely there is a little bear. And now the bear is gone. So I did this earlier on, and I stamped him out and I coloured him in, and then I made the ink go away from the stamp that I used, and now it just looks like I freehand drew this really cute little teddy, and it is so really cool. So absolutely fantastic. I love that. No problem, Mummy Lala. Thank you for coming back. But the actual premise of this is you can put multiple stamps in here. So say they build up a flower, and you do your first, you put your paper there and you do your first layer, and then turn it for the next one and stamp, turn it for the next one and stamp, turn it for the next one and stamp. That's the whole premise of this, is so that you can do your layering stamping. But unfortunately I don't have a stamp to hand. Hopefully, Clarice, that is a good enough explanation on how to use it and what it's about. So let's get on and get finished with the lovely little project we have at the moment. Our lovely little project. I think I went a bit crazy and gotten rid of all the extra bits that I actually needed. Because I'm a dum-dum. Right, let's pick up the things that I've knocked on the floor. I'm just going to grab another sheet of... Do I need a sheet of A4? I'm going to need, even if it's just an off-cut of A4, I need to check my scraps to see if I've got... No, it's going to have to be a fresh sheet. I just need to do one more hinge to go over the top here. Oh, you're more than welcome, Clarice. Absolutely any time, my lovely. I do have a whole host of videos in the back catalogue on lives, where I have 6 3/4, where I have taught about various different things. So I've done ink blending, I've done foiling, I've done all sorts of different things. And the great thing, you know, like my lives, if someone asks me to see something, I will stop and I will do it, because I want you to know. I want you to learn. And if I can help you with that, then, you know, absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to score that at 1.5. I've got loads of scoreboards. 1 and... Wait, there is that half? No, that's the one before half. It's that one that I want for a half. I've got all sorts of stuff floating about here. Yeah, so if I can stop and show you how to use something, I will stop and show you how to use it, because I think it's, you know, I feel like I should. Because once upon a time, I was the person sat in someone's live going, oh, well, I don't know how to do that, and I'd really like to know how to. This is an Old Crafter's Companion one that they released in the Ultimate Card Making Compendium set. You could probably pick it up on eBay. That's where I got it from. It's a really handy dandy little one to have floating about. Oh, it does help if I don't throw my glue bottle across the desk as well, doesn't it? And there we go. So that's the final covering as such for the outer piece. There's obviously a little bit there where I forgot to put some glue earlier on. Let's just hold that down. And then that's ready to go. So I'm just going to get down some of my 12x12 paper, not paper, CAD. And I've already got a matte and layer ready for the front here. So what I will do is actually start with that one. So that is 6.5 by 4, which then means we need to take one of these lovely sheets that I've printed, because they are beautiful. And I need to cut down a piece that is 3 3/4 by 6 1/4. So let's go to 6 1/4. 6 1/4 by 3 3/4. And before I do that, I'm just going to use my ground espresso, my ink blending pad. I'll try and do it where you guys can see it. So I'm just going to blend around the outer edge, and I'm only doing it lightly around the outer edge. I don't want it to be too dark, because I'm actually going to make the inner it's kind of making it look slightly dirty which is what I'm looking for. Because I want it to look that kind of like aged. There we go. And on here, oh my gosh, letterpressing. Girl, so much fun. So as you can see here, I'm actually going for a much darker and harsher line around the outer edge. And that's what I'm going to do with all the mats and layers on this one. On the outside, I will need to just grab down a few pieces of my 12x12 white cardstock in just a second. But as you can see, I'm really going for that deep dark edge there. And I'm not so fussed about how far the blending comes in or how it looks beyond that edge, because it's going to be hidden by I've lost my train of thought. It's going to be covered by that lovely pattern paper that we've just cut. Oh, that's lovely, Pam. And there we go. Oh, that was a bit of a workout. And I'm just going to mat and layer that on there. And I've had so much fun making these, and it's not so bad when I'm kind of addicted to making them now. I don't know if I might actually postpone my advent calendar and do some more of these on a live tomorrow night, because I'm literally having so much fun making them. I feel slightly addicted. And there we go. Now that mat and layer will sit on there. And you can see how awesome that looks. Let me just move that out of the way. How awesome that looks. I am loving it. It looks so cool. I did a lesson on the letterpress a couple of months ago, actually. So that's in the back catalogue as well, if you want to take a look at it, Michelle. I'm just going to get 2 pieces of my 12 by 12 cardstock down. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Again, I didn't have anything planned because I wasn't going to necessarily do a live tonight. So. Right. There we go. I'm just going to cut these down to 10 1/4 to start with. And if you do have any questions, or if you have any crafty questions, I know I need to put that stipulation on there because some people will probably end up sending me naughty emails just for giggles. So 10 1/4. 10 1/4 by... Well, we'll deal with that when we get it on there. I do have an email address, which is askme@handcraftedbygaz.co.uk. You can send any crafty questions you have to that email address, and I will try and answer them as well as I can. Right, so I need to trim that down to 9. So 8 3/4, because we're giving it that 1/4 of an inch. And again, I'll just pop that on the inside so I can. So 8 3/4, 8 3/4. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, 9 by. Let's just make sure those two line up. They do. Yay! I did the thing. Michelle, I took a class at Stampaway. I could try out the better press so I could see everything. It is a brilliant thing, Pam. It is an absolutely brilliant thing. I haven't used mine in ages because I don't have many plates for it, and that's on me because I've prioritised buying other things because I'm naughty. And plus, Drunk Gaz hasn't found his way to the Spellbinders website yet. Maybe he will. Who knows? Right. So I'm just going to line that up with those points that I've made there. And I'm going to trim that off. And then I'm going to, by eye, guesstimate about another 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's about right for that side. And we're going to do the same for this side. So again, I'm just lining this up. Trimming it, and then just by guesstimation, I'm trimming off an extra 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do the exact same as what I did on that little front piece. And I'm going to go in with that nice harshly ink blended line around the edge. And again, I'm not being massively fussy on how this blends, because it is that edge that I'm looking for, to being the stark, hard coloured edge. Let's just clear out some of that muck. Actually, it might just be easier for me to do that, and then I can just pick up the ink straight from the glass mat. And then I should be alright with the blending. There we are. Ooh. Loving the AMSR of the paper trimmer. It's not intentional. But there we go. And again, I don't mind how this is blending, because it's all adding to that like rustic, old type of theme that we've got going on. Oh. PJB, that was a sensible thing to try and do before you buy. I'm quite impulsive. I think we are all impulsive when it comes to craft items, because I know there has been several times I've literally just gone onto a website and bought something because A, I can, and B, it was there. There we go. And I'm just going to grab in another sheet of that lovely paper. And I'm just lining it up to the 1/4 of an inch, and just along the back I'm going to trace around with my pencil, and then all I'm going to do is trim to that line that I've just drawn. Around the back, there we go. And then I'm just going to guesstimate again a little 1/4 of an inch off the front. And if I believe correctly, that's the wrong side, Gareth. You want this side. That. Oh, I haven't done the 1/4 of an inch along the bottom, have I? Oh, silly me. So a little guesstimation on 1/4 of an inch. I'm usually fairly accurate, but I'm not always brilliant. Oh, florals. Oh, I don't mind florals. I know Pam. I don't know actually. Pam, do you not like florals? I'm not a big lover of florals. That's for sure. I only have florals in my collection because they are what a lot of things are, unfortunately, in the craft world. And another reason, because I have to have them to make female cards. There we are. Let's get that on there. Oh gosh, I forgot to do the ink blending on this side. That's not a problem. I'll come back in now and do it. it's not a big deal because I'm just adding to the effect of what this is anyway, so I just want it to have that aged and kind of like, I don't know, I want to say semi-decrepit look, even though it is brand new and I've just made it. There we go. And then just before I put the side on here, I need to stick that down actually, so put a little blob of glue under there. Distressed and a bit vintagey. Yeah, it is. I wish I were more I wish there were more masculine items, or maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Thereafter, a lady in my craft class who hates butterflies and florals too. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own tastes. So for that side, I need that to be on that way. I've done this before. I've cut a piece of card and then I've done the absolute wrong thing. Tell ya, I'm a nutter. Oh, why am I... That's not an ink pad, that's a lid. That's not going to get me anywhere. It's me wondering why the ink wasn't going down as dark. Oh my gosh. Oh, you can't make it up with me, I tell you. You can make anything masculine. It's just doing it in the right way. So you may have a male friend that likes butterflies, and you know, because some normal, well, I say normal, oh my gosh, I can't say things like that. You know, I do know that there are some blokes out there that like to, you know, collect butterflies and stuff, and moths and what have you, dragonflies and all that kind of stuff. Ornithologists or something, I can't remember the name of them. They've got a name though, as everything does tend to have. I can't remember where I was going with that. But yeah, it's the colours. It's picking your colours and knowing how to use them to make something look masculine that may not be masculine. I'll tell you what, maybe I should do a live on that at some point next week, and we'll see if we can take some traditionally feminine looking items and make them masculine. How's that? I think that might be a bit of a good idea. It might be one of my better ones, I should say. Yeah, I can do that next week. I've got a few... Actually, shall we do that on Tuesday? Because I'm off Tuesday. And then when I'm on an early, when I come home, after I finish my early shift, I'll do another live in the next couple of days after that as well. So we'll keep everything nice and flowing. It's easy to do when I'm on days to squeeze in lives, because there's not much of a pressure on me to... Not as much pressure on me. Oh, I don't know. I'm losing what's left of the plot. Right. Our last lovely sheet of paper. So I'm just going to make that... As you can see there, I'm kind of going with that 1/4 of an inch edge around the outside, just by eye. And then again, I'm just going to do like I did with the other side. I'm going to come in with my pencil and I'm going to trace that line out. Ooh, I'm getting a bit warm now, jeez. papers are just a smidgy little bit. And as long as that bit and that bit align correctly. And taking off that little guesstimated 1/4 of an inch again. And taking off a little guesstimated 1/4 of an inch from the front as well. Then that should fit nicely on there. Huzzah! We did the thing! Hello, Michelle McCarthy Crafts. Welcome on in, my lovely. How are you doing? Did you enjoy your tea? Your lovely... Oh, what was it you had? Chicken fried rice, was it? Made by the lovely Ben? There we go. Just matting and layering that. Yep, this is the lovely Michelle McCarthy, guys. If you don't know her, get onto her channel and go and see her. Again, if you just want to watch a video and see how she's like, what she is like, it's really great. She is really great. She's releasing her own papers at the moment, so you can get currently her Victorian Garden collection, 2 different sets of Christmas collections, and from today 2 different steampunk circus collections. I believe one... Oh, I can't remember what you called them, Michelle. I've lost the plot. You'll have to help me out, my darling. And they are absolutely fantastic papers. The quality is second to none. I will be using them on the advent calendar make that I'll be doing tomorrow. And you'll get a chance to see just what her papers are like, because they are fantastic. But if you don't know her, please go over to her channel. And she also piping up on her papers a bit more. She ships to the US as well, guys. So you can get her papers no matter where you are, which I think is fantastic. Oh, and by the way, she doesn't discontinue her papers either, like some big companies do. They are available for you to buy pretty much whenever you want. She does them by sheet and she does them by pack. So you can get 12 sheet packs or you can buy them as individual sheets. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot fault her or any of her products. So thank you for being here, Michelle. I absolutely love you, my darling friend. Right, there we go. So there we are, guys. There is the second of my stamp storage bins. My die and stamp storage bins. So we have made... I've still got to do the little inside bits for there and the back bits, but don't worry, those will get done. So that is what we have made this evening on our live. And this is the one we just made. So it's got that lovely ship paper there from Stamperia. And before I go, I'm going to actually show off the Christmas papers, because they are what I'm going to be using tomorrow. So you guys might as well get a quick look at both sets. I'm pretty sure I've got both sets. Sorry, I was just making sure. I knew I had them, but I was just making sure I put them both in the same place, which I did, which is completely out of character for me. So you're welcome, Pam. So this is Christmas Present, I believe. I absolutely adore these papers. So they will be getting a good thorough usage on my advent calendar tomorrow. So there we go. You can have a look at those. These are so beautiful, guys, and the quality is absolutely stunning. I mean, the print, you can't tell it. You cannot tell it. And it's just her and her husband that are doing these. She also does craft kits as well when they're available. So it's always nice to get your hands on one of those. So I'm just going to do a quick flick through of these papers, and then I'll be saying my goodbyes. This one, I've said to her before, it reminds me very much of A Muppet Christmas Carol when the ghost of Christmas Present is in Scrooge's living room with the massive tree and everything. I think it's absolutely stunning. And all of these lovely nutcrackers. Oh, I think we're back at the beginning, aren't we? Aren't we? Yes, we are back at the beginning. There we go. So that is Christmas Present. And if you give me one quick second, I'll just pop those to the side. The print, love to craft. The printing is phenomenal. I don't know what printer she's using or how she's doing it, but her and her husband Ben are doing an absolutely smashing job. So this is Christmas Past, and I know closer to Christmas she's going to be bringing out Christmas Future. And I love how all of these papers are snow globes. She doesn't only just do them in 12 by 12, they're also in 6 by 6. So you can get them from her. And they are absolutely beautiful. So we'll just finish quickly going through those. It's just a quick glimpse through. I did do a live on these the other day, so you can go back and watch that. I think it was last Monday I did it. Oh, and you get the A4 topper pads too now, which you can get in all of her collections, even though it's a new product. I completely forgot about the A4 topper pads. I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. So that is all of those papers. I hope you've enjoyed the quick flick through on those, but they will be getting a thorough workout tomorrow on my live, which I'm quite A, happy for, and B, sad for, because I don't want to cut into them, but I do need to. So I will just take the opportunity to say thank you all for everyone being here, even though it was a completely impromptu live and I hadn't planned it. I'm a bit naughty like that. Sometimes I do what I want. I hope to see you all at the next one. I love you all so very much. Bye bye, guys. Bye 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 bye.